What's going on, Negro? What's up? Talking about cutting off these family members, cutting off toxic family, friends, whoever it may be. You did it already? Who'd you do it to? Who'd you do it to? I've had I got an issue going on with myself personally right now. I mean, I got a friend, he's been having some issues for years. I haven't really let it get to the point where it's like really weighing me down or, interfering with my life because I keep him at a distance. But LSG, LSG. What's LSG? You gotta. I don't know what that is. Illuminegro. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I got an issue going on with one of my friends, cousins, aunts. Yeah, I feel you on that. I also feel like it really don't matter how close they are to you, man. It could be cousins, aunts, best friends, anybody that's just not going in the direction that you're going, really weighing you down. I think stuff like that is really, really harmful to your psyche, your everyday well being. Your own father, yeah. I mean, I even agree with that to some point. Your own people that you are very close with, especially your parents. If it's something that's really detrimental to your life, I agree. Just cut them off. Feed them with a long spoon. Yeah, you got to treat some people like that. It's like that at sometimes. But like I say, man, I got an issue myself personally with one of my friends currently. He was just over here this weekend, and man, it's just he's one of these people. He's had drug problems, and I'm assuming he's clean, but I think he's always mixed up into if it's not he has an addictive personality. That's what I'll say. He's always mixed up in something. You know what I'm saying? And he came over here and he was basically like, "Man, you want to try these some type of pills?" It was some type of weight loss pills, right? But he always finds this stuff where it's like legal, but it still gets you high. I know at one point he was taking something called kratom. I don't know if anybody know about this stuff called kratom, but he was messing with this kratom stuff, and he was trying to say, "Oh, it's for my back. It helps the pain in my back, this, and that." But he was addicted to it. And then one time I had to go to the emergency room and go check on him because he was messing with meth, and that was pretty insane. But when he came over here this weekend, he was trying to get me to do like some little weight loss pills or some shit like that. But I guess they get you high, right? And he was like wanting to play my game, and he just kept asking, like, "Man, you want to take one?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, I don't. I don't fool with nothing like that." So he just kept asking me. So I ended up taking him home. And right before I took him home, he was like, "Man, can you stop me by the dollar store? I need to put some money on my card so I can gamble." And I'm like, "Gamble? What are you doing gambling?" He like, "Yeah, man, I can gamble on my phone, this, and that." And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, he really has an addictive personality. It's synthetic weed. That's what kratom is. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess you're just throwing something else out there, but yeah, he was messing with that stuff too. Synthetic weed. It was always something with him. It's always something. And I could never just wrap my brain around how his personality is so addicted to things. I can remember us once we graduated. He had a good job. He was like one of the first people to get like a good job once we graduated, right? And he was eating food, right? He was always ordering food or just going to these restaurants. But the thing about these places that he was eating out at, he was eating them every day. Like he was addicted to it. It was an Asian spot. He ate it every day. I mean, every day you go over there or you would see him and you like, "What you doing? Where you at?" "Oh man, finna go over to Hunan's or Who Pays, these little restaurants, like finna give me something." I'm like, "Bro, you didn't been over there for the last 2 weeks. For the last 2 weeks." But he just can't help himself. What's up, George? He cannot help himself. He's addicted to things. He gets locked in on stuff. And as much as you tell him, bro, chill out, don't do that. It's harming you. He can't stop. And we tried to get him in rehab. We've even, I mean, his dad, before his dad passed away, just kind of basically cut him off where he had to go to a shelter. This rescue mission that we have down here, that everything that we try lasts for but so long. And so the reason I'm asking this question today is like, what is the cutoff point with some of these people? Where do you just be like, you know what, I don't want you to be around? Because I don't go get him every day or see him every day. At this point, it's like every few months. He stays with his mom. I'll go pick him up, for a holiday, bring him over here, let him, kind of get out the house. But even when I do that, it's kind of exhausting. You know what I'm saying? It's very exhausting to have him around, and you just like, oh, here he go again with the same old crap, and it just never ever stops. It just never stops, and I can never, for the life of me, find out like when is enough for you. Like, when does your body ever get tired of doing drugs, or get tired of wasting money, or get tired of doing any of these things? And I refuse to be one of these people who just lets it bring me down. And for him, he lets it bring him down every time. It does it all the time. And so, I mean, if y'all would answer the poll for me, let me know what y'all think about this topic, because I think this is a very serious topic when it comes to cutting off family and friends and whoever else. Um, it just gets to a point where, like I say, you ask yourself, when is enough? Because you have to know when to cut off your friends and your family, just so you can have some peace, because you try to give them a little bit of leeway, but they take it and they stretch it and they turn it into other things. Because I can't remember many times that I've picked them up on these different occasions where it was something new. It was just, I mean, from now, like I say, the gambling to these diet pills to the kratom to the synthetic weed to the meth, it's always something that he's addicted to, and he cannot stop. Illuminegro say a lot of people turn to other things that helps them escape the reality for that moment. Yeah, he is one of those people. He is definitely one of those people. He could get off of something and he'll go to something else. He'll get off of that and he'll go to something else. It's like he just has to be addicted to something. And you're right, you got to do the hard work. And in my personal opinion, that's something that he don't want to do. And that's what I've noticed about him my whole life. I can remember him in high school not really wanting to do the hard work. He was always the guy that the girls liked. He was always the guy that, people, where the girls always thought he was cute and handsome. So you know what he did with that? He never brought a book bag to school. He never brought his books to school, period. He always walked around with just a rolled up piece of paper and a pen in his ear, just to look cool. He always made sure his shirt was starched, and he was ironed and he was clean. And I can remember him getting in a mirror, and he would just be so obsessive about his collar, the way his collar on his shirt was, the way his pants looked, the way his pants tucked into his shoes, the way his socks was, the way his earrings look, his haircut. He was addicted to all of these things except the stuff that was really going to improve his life. He never could do that. He never could grasp that, you know, that that thing that makes you like, okay, I think this is enough for me. It's time to move on. I need to do better with my life. He can't do that. And so, me personally, I always tell myself, I refuse to let that bring me down. I refuse to let that bring me down. His sister, I mean, his own sister has even talked to me and told me that maybe I should just let him go. She was like, maybe you should let him go, do his own thing, and just don't worry about him. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I really did that. I mean, in a sense, I have. But like I say, every now and then he'll just, kind of hit me up out the blue, and I may go pick him up. And it's only for like a couple of hours. I never let him spend the night. It's nothing like that. It's only for like 2 or 3 hours, and I take him back home. Teresa Thomas, this stream is about friends and family and knowing when to cut them off. You know, that's basically what I'm talking about. And right now, I'm kind of giving a story about one of my friends that I'm kind of thinking about. Like, okay, I don't know if I should just really just be done with him, or keep, you know, hanging around him. Because like I told in the beginning of this show, I don't. This is not one of these friends that I talk to or hang with every day. It's not like that because of his addictions and because of the things that he's been doing these last 10 years or so. I just haven't been around him like that. And we used to be like this. Like we used to hang out every day and do stuff and go to parties and but it's just like I can't do it with you no more, man. Tom says most broke men put women as a number one priority. False sense of conquering social hierarchy. Yeah, a lot of broke men do that. A lot of broke men, because that's and you know what? You make a good point with that, Tom. Because that is one of the things that he does. He'll get addicted to a woman and he'll put her his number one, even above himself. And I'll tell him, bro, that's not what you should do. And it always ends badly for him. It always ends badly for him. For a moment, like you say, he thinks he's conquering this social hierarchy. It makes him feel good because he has a woman. But when you break it down and you see these women who he's with, it's like, what are you doing? I know one of them was a stripper. He didn't want to tell me for the longest, but he ended up telling me eventually. He was like, "Yeah, man, she used to strip," but I'm like, "Nah, she's stripping now." But she was cute and all of these, so he really thought he was just doing something, and that's when a lot of things really went downhill for him. And a lot of our friends just kind of was like, this dude, when we were younger, he was cool, but you see what the things that he did when we was younger just has turned him into. It turned him into somebody who is really unstable. He's very unstable individual. Like I said, he used to have money, he had somewhere to stay, he had a car, but once he got on drugs and got addicted to certain things, it was a wrap. In the beginning, it was just food, restaurants, certain things that he liked to do. He was addicted to that. He had to do it every day. But then it turned into drugs. And once he found these different drugs and whatnot, he was addicted to those things every day. And most of our friends have just cut him off completely. A lot of my friends don't even talk to him. They always ask me because I was closer to him than anybody else. But I just can't, I can't I can't I guess in a sense I can't just completely cut him off. But I know at some point I'm just gonna have to I'm not answering the phone. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm just gonna do what his sister told me and just leave him alone and just go on about my life. But his mom, which is crazy, has actually tried to guilt trip me. Honestly, I can remember having not spoken to him for a couple of years, ran into his mother, and she was like, where you been? And I'm thinking, avoiding your son. But she was saying it in a way like, you should come around. You should see your friend or whatever. Like, nah, I'm not obligated to take care of him. I'm not obligated to do anything, especially when he's in the condition that he is. Now, I actually went up to the hospital. This is when I seen him at the hospital. And I'm thinking, well, that's my friend. He's at the hospital. I'm gonna see if he's okay. But every other day, he's not my priority like that. He's just not. My Thanksgiving was pretty good, JK. How was yours, bro? Mine was pretty good. Mine was pretty good. So I'm getting more and more as I speak on this, or even previously, where it's just like I need to protect my peace. I need to basically just say no, enough is enough. Just let him know. Look, I can't interact with you on a daily basis. I don't want to get high. I used to smoke weed. I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't do all of those things. At some point, you have to grow up. You have to move on with your life. But if you can't do that, or if you can't see that it's hindering where you're trying to go or what you're trying to be, then you ain't on my level. And he's a very low vibrational person, in my opinion. He's a very low vibrational person. He doesn't have any supportive energy. He has more of that draining energy. If I was to speak to him about something positive, his conversation would turn into just draining me. Like, man, I can't really do that. And, I've been trying, man, but things just don't go this way and things just don't go. And I'm just like, really? Really, brother? Like you're gonna keep having these excuses? Because it's none of this is making any sense. Excuses, 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 excuses. You listen to the excuses in the beginning, but then it comes to a point you're like, all right, it's enough of the excuses. You said enough. We ain't going nowhere with this. And he leaves me mentally exhausted after we have certain conversations. And I very rarely feel like that when I'm talking to people. When I'm talking to somebody who has their head on right, or they talking about something that they really want to do, or we're speaking on life in general, goals, how we want to conduct ourselves from a day-to-day basis, those types of conversations with him just leave me mentally exhausted because his every response is, man, I tried that. Man, I can't do that. Man, if I try this gonna happen. And he has that defeatist mentality about it. Everything that he does or says, he's defeated already before he even tries. Now, when it comes to drugs and things, he doesn't have that same personality. He'll jump in head first. He'll even ask me if I want to do it, which is insane. And I've told him so many times, I don't want to do that. But in his head, it's like he can't fathom that. Man, I can't break his will. I can't get him to do it. So if you see me not doing it and you see the way my life is going, why can't you follow my lead? Why is it so hard for you to see that? Some people, they refuse to see good examples that's right in front of their face. Some people actually make mistakes so that you can see them and not make those same mistakes because they've already made them for you. You can just follow their path. But he can't, it's like he can't do that. And the things that I do accomplish and I tell him about it or he knows about it, in his head, it's like, you did that? Like when I got my CDL, he was like, man, you really got your CDL? I'm like, yeah. And he was like looking at me like, oh my God, like that's something I would never be able to do. And I could never wrap my head around it. The guy is just very low vibrational. He has draining energy. And honestly, a lot of times it's like just a waste of my time. He's what you would call an emotional vampire. I could be on cloud nine and get around him, and I could just, I mean, the moment he starts talking, it's kind of like, damn, why did I go get him? Why did I go get him? We was talking one day about finances, and I've been doing this crypto thing for a while, and I was telling him, look at my accounts, look at the money that I've made, and I'm telling him, you don't need much, you need $5 or $10, and he just recently started like a job. He's doing something or whatever, and I'm telling him what he could do, and in his head, he's really not listening. But he's sitting up here telling me later on in the day how he wants to gamble on his phone. And I'm telling him, bro, that same money that you getting on your phone and gambling with, those $10 or $20, you could put that in the crypto somewhere and possibly make you $100. You ain't going nowhere. You're making bad decisions and bad choices on a daily basis. I really wish that he would come out of this mindset, but I know deep down in my heart that it's pretty much a wrap for him because we're damn near 40 at this point. And if he doesn't get it, he probably won't get it. He probably won't get it. And we both have that whole energy mismatch. Mine is more ambition and his is more stagnation. He would rather be comfortable sitting where he's at instead of having this ambitious mentality or this push forward mindset to say, look, I want better. I want to get me a house. I don't want to stay with my mom anymore because he lives with his mom. It's like, bro, you still living with your mom. You don't want to do better. You don't want to improve. He was, like I told you, he was telling me about his gambling addiction. He even asked me, could he rent my PlayStation? I'm thinking, rent my PlayStation? That should be the last thing on your mind at this point is renting my PlayStation. Like he was playing my game and I could see it on his face. He was like, man, I really want one. I really want one. And then he pulled out his wallet. He popped open $40. Was like, man, I'll give you $40, man. You let me rent your PlayStation. I'm like, dude, keep your $40. Save your money. Stop worrying about games. Stop worrying about games. Stop worrying about any of that crap. That's the least of your worries right now. You're not finna go nowhere sitting at your mama house playing that game. You need to be brainstorming. You need to be thinking about how I can improve. How can I stop doing these drugs? How can I stop gambling? How can I stop trying to find something to get high on? And it's the craziest thing to me. So as I've been growing, I can tell he feels abandoned and he feels as if I've left him behind. And I have left him behind. And I've even talked to some of my other friends about some of the ways that he has been towards me, even in high school. It was moments in time where, they had this thing, most of my friends, where they would swap clothes out, to kind of make it seem, and I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. They would swap these clothes out during high school to make it seem as if they had more clothes or they had a nice wardrobe. Somebody would borrow somebody's pants or somebody's shoes or somebody's shirt, and they would swap these different things out. But my parents, they had money, but they wasn't on that type of shit. Like they wasn't on like we finna get you Jordans, we finna get you this name brand shirt and this and that. I just had like basic clothes, right? Which is something that I got used to. It at the while it didn't turn into a big deal. I just at least wanted to have a decent pair of shoes. As long as I got that, I was cool. I could handle the rest. You know what I'm saying? But it was one instance where I was like, bro, let me borrow them pants. And this is my best friend at the time. And think about this. I'm also the guy with the vehicle because my parents got me a vehicle. Everybody's riding with me to school. And he didn't want to swap no pants with me because he said I didn't have anything to swap with. And I'm thinking, bro, I'm swapping out my gas. I'm picking you MFers up every morning and taking y'all to school. So how can I not be able to borrow a pair of pants? Like this is crazy. Tom says, you already dropped him. You putting his business out there. I would never do this to an ex best friend, despite him airing out my laundry. He's not my ex best friend. And I always come on here and tell my truth. I'm not, see, the thing about me and the thing about y'all is y'all will get online or y'all will get in front of people and kind of make up. I'm not that type of individual. These are things that I've actually said to his face. So me putting this out here is not something that's I'm low key dissing him. He could possibly be watching this right now and it wouldn't even bother him because he knows that I've said these same things to him. Matter of fact, when I dropped him off, I told him this same stuff that I'm telling y'all right now. And he's actually was like, bro, and I know you tired of me. I know you tired of this. I know you tired of that. But in his brain, he can't stop doing it. See, I'm more of a real individual. I'm more of a real friend than a lot of y'all are. A lot of y'all would think this stuff or say this stuff, but y'all would never tell it to the person that's actually happening to. I will tell him to his face. Yeah, I've said it to his face, Tom. I've said it directly to him. This, if he heard this right now, he knows this would not be the first time that I've said this about him. His sister that I talked to knows that this would not be the first time that I said this to him. I've said this to him. His sister said this to him. He moved to California with another sister. She said this to him. His mom said this to him. But the main thing about it is, and this is what I said to him too, your mother is enabling you. His mother is the one, when he doesn't have any money, she will give him money. He will lie about going to the store, getting cigarettes, and he'll go do other things with them. His sister has told his mom these things and told her she should stop. So anything that I'm saying on this live is not nothing that we've said to them personally. I don't that me saying this to them is not something that I'm afraid of because I'm in a good place. You're not in a good place. Truths are just the truth. Things are just harsh. If people can't understand that, that's where we fail them. If I can't tell him the truth, there's no point of doing this. You say, but still not keeping it private is diabolical. Again, I have an ex best friend and he backstabbed me. I just can't do this even though I have dirt. That's you, bro. That's not me. That's you. That's not me. I don't mind coming on here speaking my truth. That's not an issue for me. I've said stuff about my family and they know it. And guess what? I go see them the next week or whatever. It doesn't matter. I've had an argument with my dad and came on here and talked about that. And then I went over his house and cut his yard. Like, I think we live in a society where, shh, be quiet. Don't say nothing. Don't say this and don't say that. And I really feel a certain way about somebody, but I'm not gonna, I don't want to ruffle any feathers, so I'm gonna keep it to myself. Now, I'll go talk behind their back, but I'll never say it to them. It's not me. It's not me. I've always been like this. You can ask any of my friends. I've had arguments with them. I told one of my his brother is in the league right now. His brother plays football. He's a very prominent player, and all y'all know him. I'm not gonna say his name, but me and him have gotten into it, and I told him, I said, bro, you are changing up because he started acting funny. This was before the football and all this, but it was just an instance where he started going to college, and I was like, bro, you changing up. You acting funny. I told him this. Told it to his face. But the thing about me is, pertaining to my friend, like I say, we used to hang out. We used to go over his house, play the game, smoke weed. This was like fresh out of high school. We had all these bad habits, all this bad mindset, bad lifestyle, bad circle around us. Cause I got a felony and I done all of those things. See, and I talk about what I've done too. So I had a felony, done some things, but I changed. And I was like, bro, I'm not gonna be a criminal anymore. I don't want to smoke weed anymore. I don't want to hang out in the hood anymore. I don't want to participate in none of this nonsense anymore. And I moved on with my life. Some people got mad. Some people thought that I was being funny, but I wasn't being funny. I just wanted to make a correction that nobody else wanted to correct. Now, some people wanted to make the correction with me, and they did. But others who didn't, they feel like we left them behind. They feel like we're trying to other ourselves. And the truth is, I am trying to other myself. What's up, the quiet one? I am trying to other myself. I am trying to do something different. I don't want to participate in illegal activity. I don't want to be a criminal. I don't want to be somebody who smokes weed every day. I don't want to hang out with my friends every day and do nonsense. I don't want to do that because I saw where my life was going. I had a baby and I was like, look, everything that we doing now can't be the same stuff that we doing 10 years from now. It just can't. It is impossible to do that. And if you want to do that, then do it. But you're not going to do it with me. I won't be a part of it. And another point I wanted to bring up, some of the red flags when someone can't coexist with your path, the things that you want to align yourself with, the things that you want to do. This is how you know that probably you should cut them off. They mock your goals. They think the things that you want to accomplish are something that's impossible. Um, you'll never get there. You're not built like that. That's not what I've known you to do. They make fun of the things that you want to do with your life. Oh, I want to be a father. I want to be something bigger than what y'all doing right now, and sitting up here playing Madden all day and getting high. And every couple of hours trying to find out where we can go get some weed at. They guilt trip you for doing other things. Once you start to get there, now they guilt trip you. Oh, you think you better than us. Oh, you think you're doing something special. Remember where you come from. Remember who you really is. Nah, I don't need to remember that. Only reason why I would need to remember that is to tell myself that that's not what I want to do. They also try to bring chaos and drama and negativity around you. It's like I was telling y'all about my friend. He wants to keep asking me about doing different types of drugs. Like, why would I want to do that? I got a house, a car. I bought a big another big screen TV on Black Friday. Why would I want to smoke that away? They don't want to take accountability for anything. Anything that I tell him that he's doing wrong. Like I tell you, he's always got an excuse. It's never his fault. It's always, this happened to me and my daddy was like this to me. And it comes to a point in your life where no matter what happened to you, you can make your own decisions. You can make your own choices. And I remember this Thanksgiving, my uncle was just talking about that because his daughter had some issues. And we were saying the same thing like, yes, it comes to a point where no matter what happened to you, you're a grown up and you can make your own choices. You can keep saying, oh, yeah, I was never afforded this opportunity. Somebody tried to stop me from doing X, Y, and Z. They don't like me. They treat me this kind of way. I got low self esteem. I don't have this type of training. It's all of these excuses. It's never, you know what? I'm going to do better. That's on me. I should have tried harder. I should have gave more effort when it came to that. Because I'll tell you right now, it was times in my life where I'd be thinking about, yeah, when my dad wanted me to go to school to be an engineer, I should have went to school to be an engineer. That's what I should have did. But I didn't. I have regrets just like everybody else, but those regrets don't hold me back and they don't stop me from taking accountability about the things that I did. Also, another red flag that someone can't coexist with your path. Your success triggers jealousy and not support. So when these people see you doing good or they see you doing something that they say that they can't do, which is something usually pretty simple, it's things that everybody can do. They just have it in their head that they can't do it. They get jealous of you. They try to make you seem like you're an outcast. They don't want to support you. They never acknowledge what you've done with your life. That's something that a lot of these people do. And they can't help it. It's just in their nature because of the problems and the choices that they've made. They can't see how, wow, that person accomplished something that I couldn't accomplish. So as I'm telling you this and I'm talking about the issues that I had with my friend, all of these things are this is not something that I'm just pulling out my ass. These are actually actual things that I've experienced, especially when it pertains to him. These people have actually been mad at me for being successful, for being something that they're not. I, I, I can even tell you another instance of another one of my friends who was in the streets, in the hood. Guess what he did? He went to the corner store one day, scratched off a lottery ticket, and won a lot of money. That was his way out. But you know what he did? He blew that money. I couldn't believe it. I can remember one day them talking, and I seen him walking. I was like, bro, are you meaning to tell me he don't got a car? They was like, yeah. Because I hadn't heard from him in a while. They said he blew that. I said, you telling me he blew that money that fast? Yes. So what I'm also saying is some people that you don't have to experience. I mean, you don't have to, I won't say experience. It's some people that they don't know the experience. They only know life one way. And that's the way to fuck it up. But they can never change their tune. They can never change their ways because they really don't want to deep down inside. The quiet one says, do you experience survivor's guilt? You know what? In the beginning, I did. And that was years and years ago. I experienced survivor's guilt. I felt like, man, I am leaving these people behind. Maybe I should reach back and try to pull these people up. But it's a couple of factors that go into that. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Being black. Because some of us just don't get it. And you have to come to a point where you realize I can't help everybody. And I'm not going to help everybody. I'm not going to waste my time helping everybody. If you can't get that, if you can't grasp the fact of just growing up, if you can't grasp the fact of just getting older and just going with what's natural, because I think, in my opinion, I think a lot of people fight that. I think a lot of people fight that thing where you know it's time to change. It's time to do something different. It's time to make better decisions. And I think some people fight that because they think they know what's best. They think they can defy the odds, still do BS, and still come out on top. And that's not possible. Things happen to you for a reason. Why do you think a lot of people have the same story? Oh, yeah, when I was in high school, like look at some of the successful people, and they'll be like, yeah, in high school, I never would have thought I was a billionaire. I was, the goofy guy on campus and this, and that. And, I didn't really get girls and blah, blah, blah. And then I actually went to college. Then I started passing a few classes. I met some different people. I started hanging out with different crowds. People were telling me different things that I had no clue about. I started having better experiences. And see, they didn't fight that. They let it happen. And they went with it. And it took them for the ride. And the people who don't want to get on that ride, they usually just stand in line. They let that ride pass. People get on board. They take that roller coaster and they go that way. And then those same people who in line, who could be next in line, they take a step back, let somebody get in front of them. They get on that roller coaster and they take off. They get all of those experiences, and they just keep taking a step back. They scared. They scared of the ups and downs. They scared of how that roller coaster is gonna spin them. But in the end, when you finally get back, you're like, damn, that was a hell of a ride. It was fun, and I could do it again. But they'll never know that because you know why? They never get on that ride. They never get on it. They never get on it. Some of them actually get on it, and as soon as that person come through to tighten it up and make sure it's fastened to them, no, let me off. Hey, Doe, let me out. Let me out. I want to get off. Let me out. Let me out. I'm done. So that's why I think a lot of people are. So I started looking up some of this stuff and ways to kind of pull yourself away from people. I've seen a couple of things that I agree with and I kind of don't agree with. It says healthy ways to detach without drama, to detach from these people. It says gradual disengagement. I think that's cool to an extent. Some people you have to gradually get away from them. You have to take your time. Maybe I don't answer a call this time, and maybe I'll answer it a month or two later if he called me again. And then after that, it'll be 4 or 5 months later before I answer his phone call again. But I also think that some people you gotta cut them off. The moment that you realize that they're not for you or they're not gonna be conducive to your lifestyle, they're just gonna be a hindrance on you and pull you back. You gotta cut them off. You gotta just be done with them. I mean, instantly. And I know it's hard, especially when it comes to close relatives, but I also think some people you just have to cut them off. And the funny thing about that, in my opinion, is some people probably get the message. There are some people who actually get that message. When you cut them off, they realize, okay, maybe I need to change. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. So in some instances, some people actually come back around and realize, okay, if that person cut me off, if that person isn't talking to me, I'm doing something wrong. It says another one, it says silent boundaries, time, access, communication. So, like I say, not answering the phone. And if you do talk to them, you're not really giving them any responses. You're making them feel unwelcome. You're making them feel like, we ain't on the same terms no more. Voluminate official says my wife constantly cheats on me with beta males and I can't wrap my head around it. I'm an alpha male, lone wolf. I should be the most valuable. I should be able to cheat on her, not the other way around. I mean, but what you're saying right there, you don't sound like an alpha male. If you're saying I should be able to cheat on her, if you should be able to cheat on her, then cheat on her. I mean, be a man. Like, I don't really know what to tell you because if she's constantly cheating on you, then my opinion, you're not an alpha male, sir. Because if she's constantly cheating on you, then in my opinion, you're accepting it because you know she's cheating on you. That's not alpha male energy. If she cheat on you, then you cut her off. You be done with her and you move on and you find somebody else. That's alpha male energy. And you don't go back and you don't cry about her and you don't worry about anything that she's doing. You just move on, sir. That's what I would think you would do if you was an alpha male. Another one of these healthy ways to detach without drama says respectful but firm conversations. I've had those respectful and firm conversations with him. Still have them to this day. But he got that hard head. It's hard to get through. It's hard to get through to him. But if you also want to get away from those people, you want to improve, you got to get around people with purpose. You got to find people who have some of the same goals that you have in mind, people who want to do better with them with their lives, people who are well-rounded. Those are the people you need to get around. In the beginning, it's kind of weird, especially if you don't come from that type of lifestyle. If you don't come from that type of lifestyle, then it's like, hmm, this is strange. This is odd. But if you sit in it and kind of listen to people and see how they move, you'll be amazed at what you pick in and what you soak up if you're willing to listen to some people. Because I've been listening to some older guys that's been telling me some different things, especially about finance and other things. And I'm like, okay. Maybe I should try that. And I've tried some of these things. And I'm like, okay, that I can see how you got where you were. I can see it. What's up, Paige Pan? I can really see it. Voluminate official says, no, I don't accept it, but the cheating doesn't hurt as much as her not acknowledging that I'm an alpha male. But you're right. I'll leave her today. My cousin was cooler anyway. That's somebody trolling. Lord have mercy. Another one on how to build a new circle that matches your growth, finding mentors with like minded friends and healthy community. And some people are great mentors. Some people who are at places that you want to be can be a great mentor. A lot of these people that a lot of folks claim don't want them to be at the same level that they're on, or they don't like me because I'm black. Maybe if you just took a moment and asked them, how did you do that? How did you get there? Man, they eyes light up. When they hear somebody who wants to know the information, man, they all ears. Because think about how rare it is for somebody to actually come up to somebody and say, how did you do that? Instead of give me something. Man, you rich. Man, give me $1,000. You got it. How many times do you come across people like that? You don't. You always come across people who got their hand out. That's what you get. Another way is to replace chaotic relationships with constructive ones, which is something that I should take the advice of. Like I say, my friend, I need to find another person to speak to every now and then that's more constructive than he is. And I have in a sense, but I the honest truth is I probably should replace him, meaning I should move him out of the way. And I think so many of us know what we should really do with a lot of our friends and family. It's just a matter of doing it. You can act like you want to do it, you can act like you don't want to do it, but you need to do it. Panda Depressed says, he who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. That's a fact. That's a good saying. I don't know who said that, but I like that. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. Exactly. Meaning, you walk with wise men or you walk with people who got knowledge or who have ambition, who have something they want to better their lives, you're going to go with them. But if you're around a crowd of people who get high, get drunk, and you're not the type of person that's get high and get drunk, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna eventually get high, get drunk, and you're gonna destroy your life. That's what's gonna happen to you. The quiet one says meditating and journaling helps. Yep. Meditating definitely helps. Journaling definitely helps. And I didn't realize I'd be journaling because a lot of times I write stuff down and I don't know where I got that from, but I just because I got like papers over here. Like I just write stuff down. I need to get a journal and actually like put a date to it. But a lot of times I'll like jot a bunch of stuff down. Say in the book of Proverbs, okay. Appreciate that, Panda. Yeah, I mean I'll write stuff down Because I've always heard like if you write stuff down, it'll like manifest itself. So I think that's where I got that from. I mean, I write all kind of stuff. Sometimes I just write down what bills or something need to be paid. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. This is what I want to accomplish. Or something about like my podcast. I'll say, uh, eventually I want to get new lights. I want to get better guests. I want to get better equipment. Like I'll try to manifest this stuff by writing it down or just writing down my thoughts about what happened today. I've done that. Hell, I basically did a whole course on like doing videography just by myself. Like I watched videos and I just took a bunch of notes and then I wrote down some stuff myself. But I think that kind of comes with age and being around other people who are more ambitious and listening to them speak and tell me what they've accomplished. And I think that's when I kind of got activated. I'm pretty sure that's when I got activated when I was listening to them. And it just kind of directed my path in a different way where I'm like, yeah, if they doing something, it seems like they doing it right. So I want to follow that path. Because it was one dude I was talking to. I'm thinking, man, I bet you he's one of these people get high and drunk, you know. He didn't sound like it, but it just, I just made an assumption. And he was talking about all this stuff he's done and what he's got and how much money. And and somebody was like, man, you drink? He was like, hell no, I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that. And I couldn't believe it. And that's when I was kind of like, you know what? Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm not gonna drink. I think I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna put that down. I'm not gonna smoke. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay. So yeah. But man, look, I've been on here talking long enough, really. I appreciate all y'all checking out the video, subscribing to the channel. If you're new, make sure you turn on the notification bell. Also leave some comments if you're watching this video later. Like it, share it, whatever it is that you want to do. Uh, I think I had some pretty good points that I brought up. Some people didn't like that I was talking about one of my friends, but I was just being honest and telling my truth. So, with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. Catch y'all tomorrow.